Coming up, we check in with an East Coast tribe growing its land base. On the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, Indigenous music makers talk about the next 50 years and using an Indigenous worldview in the journey for wellness. We'll have those interviews plus headlines ahead on the ICT Newscast.
This program is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people.
The ICT Newscast is sponsored by the Indian Land Tenure Foundation, a nonprofit organization serving American Indian nations and people in the recovery and control of their rightful homelands. On the web at iltf.org.
Support for the ICT Newscast with Aaliyah Chavez comes from the Arizona PBS studios in Phoenix at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Arizona State University.
Hopa. Thank you for joining us. We start today in Washington, D.C., where proposed legislation would preserve the site of the massacre at Wounded Knee in South Dakota if it is passed into law. The legislation is called the Wounded Knee Massacre Memorial and Sacred Site Act. It was passed by the House last week through a voice vote and was introduced by Republican Representative Dusty Johnson. If the bill is approved by the Senate and signed into law by President Joe Biden, it would put federal protections on the land around Wounded Knee. This area is significant as more than 200 Native American people, including children and elders, were killed by soldiers of the U.S. Army in 1890. Already, leaders from both the Oglala Sioux and the Cheyenne River Sioux tribes purchased around 40 acres of land around it to ensure its preservation, and they have testified in favor of this legislation. Staying in Washington, D.C., a different bill to protect Native American children has made it halfway through Congress. The Native American Child Protection Act last week cleared the U.S. House of Representatives with an overwhelming 378 to 32 majority. The bill, aimed to counter family violence and child abuse, is sponsored by Representative Ruben Gallego, an Arizona Democrat. It would update a 1990 Indian Child Protection Law to create a National Indian Child Resource and Family Center. The bill would also grant urban Indian organizations funding and the eligibility to apply for that funding. It now heads to the U.S. Senate for consideration. Now to the United Kingdom, where a museum is the latest institution to send home Indigenous artifacts. The Manchester Museum has returned 174 items to the Australian Aboriginal Anindilyakwa community. Some of the items included 5 stringy-bark baskets, spear throwers, and around 70 shell toy dolls. All the items had been gathered by University of Manchester sociology professor Peter Worsley, who had previously worked with the community. In an online statement, the museum says it worked with the Australian Institute of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Studies and the Anindilyakwa Land Council to repatriate the items. In 2019, the museum also returned 43 items to the country to the Aranda people. Well, one of the biggest problems for wind and solar energy is storage, making sure there is electricity available when the wind is not blowing or at night. Last week, the U.S. Department of Energy announced a $325 million investment in new battery types for a 24-hour power source. The funds will be distributed to 15 projects in 17 states, including for the Red Lake Nation in Minnesota. Funds from this project are designed to create long-term storage projects, meaning options that can last for longer than 4 hours, typical of lithium batteries. The goal of this initiative is to build batteries that last at least 100 hours. One of the projects is led by Rejoule, a battery diagnostics company that will recycle retired EV batteries at 3 locations, including a worker training center at Red Lake. Energy Undersecretary David Crane said the projects will prove that green technologies work, help utilities plan for longer-term storage, and at a lower cost. Well, people in the U.S. are now able to order more rapid COVID-19 tests and for free of charge. Last week, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it is bolstering its efforts to promote the public's access to tests. It is awarding $600 million to 12 American test manufacturers. That comes after a test shortage due to supply chain issues and as medical experts are warning of highly contagious COVID-19 variants. The agency also said it is reopening its website for households to order rapid tests online, which started yesterday, Monday, September 25th. Each order will come with 4 rapid tests. To order online, you can visit the website covidtests.gov. Federal officials are urging folks to double-check old tests before you throw them out. Many of the expiration dates have been extended, and you can check on the FDA's website to see which ones and how long they are still good for. And those are the headlines for the ICT Newscast. The Upper Mattaponi Indian tribe campaigned for 2 decades to gain federal recognition, but that was small potatoes. It fought for 400 years to get a good-sized piece of its ancestral land back. ICT's Stuart Huntington visited with Upper Mattaponi Chief Frank Adams about resilience.
We, the Upper Mattaponi tribe, we got our name because when the oldest 2 reservations in the United States are in King William County, and one of them is the Mattaponi Reservation. And our families did not want to be placed on a reservation. So we disappeared into the shallower waters of the upper reaches of the Mattaponi River, and therefore we became the Upper Mattaponi people. But we had lost all of our land holdings. We were a landless tribe years ago. But this property, which has been mined, it has been the sand and gravel mine for 15 years, came up for sale, and we wrote a NOAA grant, and purchased it because it was our cultural property. It was our homelands back in the late 1600s. So it's 855 acres. It's, like I said, it's a reclaimed mine. So we're limited on some of the things we can do with it just because of the integrity of the soils now. But it's a beautiful piece of property. It's right on the river's edge, and it's a healing property for us. It's the lakes on the property they were dug during the mining process, so the water is the spring water, and it's crystal clear, and you can see all the way to the bottom, even though it's 30 feet deep in a lot of places. Just beautiful water. It's healing. I consider it a healing place for our tribal citizens to go and just reconnect. We've already had a smoke there. We had tribal citizens go there, and we did a blessing of the ground, and we did a smoke, and we did. So I think everybody else in the tribe has the same feeling about that property. Is that we can hear our ancestors breathing while you're standing there.
Sir, you mentioned that it's very difficult often for tribes on the East Coast to find land.
Yes, it is. It's well, the East Coast has been developed so much that large parcels of property are usually spoken for or hardly ever come up for sale or transfer. So that we bought this. And remember, it was a damaged property, and that's probably the only reason we had the opportunity to reacquire it. But I think with the help of the Great Spirit and our dedication, we will get it back to a livable property sooner than later. Got to remember, we were the first contact Indians. We were there first. So as we held the settlers off from crossing the Mississippi River, we lost a lot, but we did hold them back for 250 years. Our language is a lost language. We're trying. We have some words, so we're trying to reclaim it now. We've got some programs going, trying to reclaim our language. We have Wingapo, that is hello in Algonquian. That's about the only word. Well, we have several other words, but that's the one that I use most of the time when I'm just saying hello to somebody. Wingapo. Now we just came federally recognized in 2018. A year later, the pandemic hit, so we were blessed with some funds from the government for COVID to spend on COVID situations, COVID health care. So we decided that we would spend it on a doctor's office. So we bought a abandoned doctor's office, remodeled it, and opened it up to treat tribal citizens from our tribe and all federally recognized tribes free of charge. And we also open to the community. So it's a community doctor's office in a rural area. Has been very successful for us, and it is our main source of income at this point, other than the federal funds.
Sir, were you involved in the effort to gain federal recognition?
Yes. It was a 20-year battle for the 6 tribes in Virginia that went to get recognition, and I've been involved from the beginning with fundraising to pay our lobbyists and this and that. Chief Ken Adams was a chief before me who led the charge on that, on getting these tribes federally acknowledged. But I was chief when the bill finally passed the Congress after 19 years of trying.
That seems like that might have tried your patience. That's along the way.
Oh, it did. It was very. We made a lot of trips to Washington, D.C., talked to a lot of senators and congressmen, and then would sit in on the hearings and see our bill voted down for 18 years straight. It was very trying, very, very humbling, very disappointing.
Sir, do you have a message for other folks in your position trying to gain federal recognition?
Yes, we're here after over 400 years of English contact. So that means we are a very resilient people. So anybody else who is working towards gaining federal recognition, just stay diligent, stay resilient, because it's not easy. But if you stay at it long enough, chances are you'll get a favorable ruling to the BIA or Congress.
Chief Adams, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're certainly welcome. Thank you.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Indigenous rappers Moo Fresh and Tall Paul reflect on their own start and how they and other Native artists have been impacted by the music. ICT's Vincent Moniz has the story.
I am the daughter of freedom fighters and farmers, bootleggers and number runners, copper color skin like clay, cooler than Indian summers, blooded by oracles and seers, water porters and healers, once were warriors, now killers and drug dealers. Mississippi, Choctaw and Creek, but raised in Baltimore, so my vernacular from the streets, we move carefully. My pack of wolves, they care for me prayerfully. You'll only lose a limb fooling with them. I am the product of a gypsy and a kingpin. I exist somewhere between Egypt and Sing Sing. Born to be a revolutionary since a wee thing. Rebellion in the memory of the memories I was drinking. I am the product of prayers and potions and heartbreak and devotion. I come from gorgeous women who cut and shoot and don't say sorry later. Short-tempered, easily provoked. They possess spirits, conjure worlds, see the future, clutch they pearls, stay hella woke. Enchantment, birth and raise babies, yep, lots of them.
In its 50-year span, rap has moved from a passing fad to a foundational culture that touches all parts of the world. Using the art form as a reflection of the issues and troubles of their lives, the music and rhyme sayers do not pull punches. In the beginning, the messages and stories were met with fear or disrespect by mainstream culture. Mississippi Choctaw Nation descendant Moo Fresh got her start just wanting to beat her older brother in a rap battle in front of the Baltimore, Maryland Indian Center.
I really got into rapping, trying to keep up with my older brother. He is a really good freestyle rapper. And we grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. We went to the Baltimore Indian Center, City Indians. And he would sit out on the front step with his friends, and he would tell me and my sister that we couldn't come on the front steps when his friends were there. And they would sit outside and, rap together. And I would sit in the window, and I wanted to come outside, partially because we didn't have central air, so it would be really hot inside in the summertime. And I wanted to sit outside where it would be a little cooler. And I wanted to listen to them rap. So I would come outside, and he would say, if I came outside, he would then start battling me and, calling me names and just, saying, and everyone would laugh because it was so good. He was so just genius about the way he could just tear your self-esteem apart. And it's laughable now, but even then I didn't take it personally. I just thought to myself, I have to get better. I would get chased back in the house, and I would start writing down raps, and I would say, I'm going to get to sit outside one day. And so I would just go back in the house, and I would write down raps, all the things, criticism about his teeth and, his forehead and everything I could think about,
Those I've wronged and who have wronged me, gotta treat them like family. Get your money due, we do kawashin. Jamushka wiziyan, me Dutch but me it is yan. Me jishanam, zagit iway when gnu jishanam. Bisendel wishanam, me wang janaga moyan. Ni mishomis we do kawashanam. Je a budget too young, nishanabe is a twawin. Me jit bit, get came to mind, kaya nishanabe be my dizzy win.
One of the things that separates native hip-hop is the inclusion of indigenous melodies and languages. Prayers in a Song, written by Leech Lake Ojibwe citizen Tall Paul, features the hip-hop artist rapping to the beat in his language. Paul, who was raised in South Minneapolis, Minnesota, knows that it takes a lot of work to find success. The rapper, who continues to tour and make new music, talks about his hopes for the future of indigenous people in hip-hop.
I just hope that we continue to express ourselves in a way that's true to ourselves as artists, and whether it's as natives or from our own personal experiences. I feel like I'm a mixed bag between making sure I speak on things that are relevant to our people, but, it's a natural thing because it also relates to me. I just write and rap about everything that's naturally close to my heart and on my mind. And, it's this natural process of packaging myself within my native culture and putting it into this avenue of hip hop. And it goes out into the world, and it's, an expression of myself and who I am in that time. And I just hope that, us artists, us native artists, continue to express ourselves in ways that are true to ourselves, regardless of how close we grew up into the culture or around our people and not, I hope we just keep on, diversifying our skills and talents within this genre, and that we grow with the culture and expand just like it has done. And, I hope that, the visibility continues to increase, and that more and more of us are able to get platformed and get opportunities based on, this gift to us that is hip hop.
Anything is possible. There was a time when the response to hip hop was like, turn that noise off. And if you have a belief about something in your heart that you feel driven to do and to push, don't give up on it. Even if no one believes in it, even if it's just you, if everyone says this will never work, this is stupid, but if you feel strongly about it, keep pushing it. Because even if you don't get to experience the benefits of it, you could open the door for someone else to be able to experience the benefits of it and be a forerunner and a trailblazer. I think about that when I think about 50 years of hip hop, that no one thought it would make it, like Biggie said, they never thought hip hop would take it this far. It's so true. And it should stand as a testament that anything that you can think of, if you can visualize it, you can bring it into reality. And at first they laugh and then they join in. Then they say, how can I join?
Mumu Fresh and Tall Paul both acknowledge that though it is a tough road, the next generation of native hip-hop will find the way to the top. In Bismarck, North Dakota, Vincent Moniz, ICT News.
Tall Paul calls hip-hop a gift, one that Indigenous communities have taken to heart for 50 years now. A new book published earlier this year showed the connections between mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health on a journey of wellness. I spoke with Chelsea Lugar about her work. She is a writer and wellness advocate and co-author of The 7 Circles, Indigenous Teachings for Living Well.
7 circles, and it entails 7 different areas of life that we believe our ancestors really thrived in and retained unique teachings associated with. And of course, we've carried on those teachings and we've carried on those traditions despite any hardships or barriers that we've faced over the years. And to this day, Indigenous people have very unique ways of talking about wellness, and we have unique teachings associated with how to live a balanced life mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So that's what our book is about.
You and your husband, of course, have been doing this work for some time. Has it always been in your plan to write a book, or maybe tell us about your process?
Yeah, absolutely not, because it's something that, you don't get to just, call up a publishing company and say, hey, I want to write a book. Like, they kind of had to come to us. And so we were just thrilled from day one when we got signed with a literary agency, and then eventually when we decided to go with the company that we're with, Harper One, which is an imprint of HarperCollins, and we've just been overjoyed, and it's been a very surreal and exciting process all along the way.
I can imagine. And of course, maybe tell our viewers a little bit more about the ideas that are incorporated into this book. You already talked about it more, but if someone was picking this up, what can they expect to learn?
So they can learn about Indigenous worldview and how it relates and how it understands wellness and interprets the concept of wellness and living in balance in a different way from what you often see. In the Western world, everything is separated into different categories, and in the Indigenous world, we recognize the interconnection of mental, physical, spiritual, emotional well-being. And all of these areas overlap, and what we hope is that this is an inviting perspective that doesn't put people in a deficit mindset, but rather it makes people feel that they're welcome and they're already on their wellness journey, and give yourself credit for that, and let's see how we can continue to take it from there.
I want to talk about COVID-19, of course, because when we talk about health and wellness, I think that impacted us all so deeply. Maybe talk about, people who are feeling like really bogged down or really just heavy right now coming out of COVID, what they can sort of take away from it at this time in particular.
Yeah, so certainly illness, COVID, any of these hardships that we face in life are a part of life. And we always say that in order to live in balance, you have to experience those moments where you are totally thrown off and out of balance and not feeling your best. And we accept that and embrace that as a part of the human experience. And we recognize that our teachings have brought us through so much. We have so much resiliency built within us. We have so much strength, and we can always return to that whenever we're ready.
Tell us what it was like to work with your husband on writing a book. Are you guys it looks like it on social media, you're like the great team, but what was that like when you were down to the nuts and bolts? Yeah,
we have our little arguments here and there. Sometimes it's really hard because we have so many deadlines to meet and stuff like that. But for the most part, our work relationship has always been good because he's a photographer, I'm primarily the writer, and so he contributed these full color, gorgeous photos that you'll find all throughout the book. I think the photography is probably the best part of the book, in my opinion, so I really credit Thosh with that. He's been a photographer for decades, and so I kind of managed a lot of the writing aspect, though we both contributed, I contributed visually and he contributed writing as well. So it is a balance in the way that we work together, and I think that's why our relationship works, and that's why our work works.
For more information, you can go to the website nativewellness.com, and you can also read Chelsea's blog at chelsealugar.com.
So I wanted to check in to see how everything was going with your pregnancy too.
Your food choices affect you, it affects your baby, and it affects your family. It's important to have a balanced diet with foods from all of the different food groups. Carbohydrates, water, fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals, all great things for baby. it's going to be 17.5 teaspoons of sugar in 1 can of iced tea.
I'm gonna back off on the Arizona tea for some time.
I really love and enjoy the program. It was an easy connection for us when I first met her. It was just like I could relate. She was welcoming. It made me feel comfortable.
Everybody has different beliefs. What I like about Family Spirit is that it takes that into consideration, honoring their beliefs and their background. For different cultures,
he babbles all the time, and like he'll point to banana and will say, "You want banana?" So that's kind of how we communicate and know what he does want and what he doesn't.
And that's a slice of our Indigenous world. For all the latest, visit ictnews.org. From all of us in the newsroom, stay safe, my relatives.